You're good. I do have an echo. Well, let's see if I have an echo.
Is it for me?
We're good.
Check.
Welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies. Feel free to retweet the room. We're going to go in a minute here. Got good friend Avery Piper back, and also Craig as well from CraigsCoinPurse. So definitely retweet the room. We'll get going in a second or five here. I'm going to bring up on the top. If you go to just type in search, you go to NovoVerse. Paris Hilton NFT pops up. And you can actually watch exactly what we're talking about right now, live action. So you can retweet that if you want to show everyone what we're talking about. Last week we were talking into doing some technical analysis within the markets. We're seeing a lot of sideways trending going on in the markets, which is excellent, kind of locking in those gains, which is a beautiful thing to see. We're seeing an uptick in NFT sales. If you look at, I actually just sold an atom bomb, one that I minted.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, one that I minted. I'll pin that up at the top because why not? We'll have a little celebration, blow that one up.
Yeah, I haven't seen that name mentioned in a little while, but those guys had a pretty big presence in the bull, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They
didn't Wiley sell one? Wasn't that like one of the big or helped pump the space a little bit? But I think, didn't he buy something like that, Novo? Did he buy a bomb?
I believe so, yes.
Did he buy yours?
The way on it. I guess I can scroll down and actually show the bomb that sold if I actually updated. And we're seeing a lot more activity in the markets as far as bids on particular NFTs. Just a lot more positive news out there. And it's funny because this kind of seemed like last month or September's news headline, the NFTs are dead. They're completely worthless. Granted that was 95, 98%, but I got 18 likes right there in 25 minutes. I think I sold it like an hour ago. And, just put it out there. It was right around floor price. It was an atom bomb. For those of you who are listening right now, you can see it up above, or you can actually watch it on video. And it had a basketball court and almost like Lakers colors behind it. Not Lakers, excuse me, Knicks colors behind it. And kind of AP, what are you? Are you a Knicks fan, or are you a Nets fan, or are you both? Or is that like two totally separate things? And
no, they are very different worlds. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say because I think the Nets came in to Brooklyn, where I'm at, maybe, I don't remember, like 2009, like 2010 maybe? I forget. Maybe it's before. It's around that time. So I was I feel like I grew up kind of as a Knicks fan, and it's difficult to transition, but I do feel some kind of allegiance because they're like, a couple train stops away from me, and it's like, all right, they're right here. Maybe I should be a fan. But I think I would say I'm both, but I definitely grew up as a Knicks fan and lean more Knicks. But if they're facing each other, I'll go Knicks, and then if Nets are in the finals or something, I'll obviously root for them. That's my.
You were hearing the voice of Avery Piper. He's actually down below. I invited you up as a speaker if you want to come up there. All the sound come through on my speaker because we're actually streaming live video. I actually have a good dozen viewers watching right now on Paris Hilton in the NovoVerse. So thank you for watching in on there. And sometimes CraigsCoinPurse has it streaming. I'm going to check real quick if it does or not. So you can get some love watching it there as well.
There he is. There's the stick figure.
There's the stick figure right there. Craig, why don't you, AP, we'll come back to you and introduce yourself and we can talk. But Craig, why don't you talk about yourself, introduce yourself again, any tidbits you want to talk about today. And, I had a whole bunch of love from my friends in Australia. Probably pretty much thanks to you. I mean, a whole bunch of fun.
Oh, did you? Wow. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, look, good afternoon, everyone. It's 1 p.m. or Monday in Australia, so happy Monday from this side of the world. My name's Craig, for those who don't know. I'm the guy who tries to find stuff early and hopefully get it in front of people's eyes before the chance is over. So that's me, chase the volume, wherever that may be, NFTs, meme coins, altcoins, big caps, everything in between caps, wherever there's ETH, I'll look to go. Once again, thanks for having me here. And yeah, look, happy to talk. I think the market's, it's pretty easy to talk about at the moment. There's tons, so it's a nice time to be chatting again. A couple of months ago it was a bit gloomy apart from meme coins, but Gordon Goner obviously went on a NFT buying spree, and I think we probably owe a bit to him for I suppose the liquidity he's bringing through, but more so the hype. Going around and buying different collections, and he's obviously very well loved by the community. And I think regardless of what you think about apes, I think most of us can agree where I see him coming from, he comes from a really good place. So I'm a fan. I think he seems like a good dude. Don't know him personally, but yeah, good to see him speaking up. Obviously, he's had health concerns, so nice to see him come back to the space. And I hope he sticks around, because I think he's good for it. So yeah, market looks good. We can chat about that more in detail in a second. But yeah, good to see him come in and buy up some NFTs. And it feels like, yeah, like you said, it feels like the article last week saying they were dead was probably what we needed, wasn't it? It's been called dead. I mean, it's the same as Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been called dead probably about 500 times. And I think we can all remember China banning Bitcoin 17,000 times last bull. So yeah, I take that sort of headline with a grain of salt. So yeah, happy to be here, guys. And I'll take a breath.
They banned it just to buy the dip, self-made dip prescribed within that. And sometimes it does take the flex of someone spending a little bit and getting towards the end of the year and unloading some bags to help their finances out. And also, I mean, might be a great time to invest if you truly believe in it. There again, none of this is financial advice. Listening to a crypto punk with a clown nose and big shades. But like you said, chasing the volume, chasing where it's at. We saw heavy volume enter in the markets. We're up to 1.5 trillion in the overall market cap, which is excellent. And I always see that kind of money, Ethereum, finance, however you view it, as filtering down and getting down into these sectors where it can help feed artists who are producing content and producing cool things. AP, what have you seen in the last while? I mean, last 3 or 4 weeks, Craig and I have been on here surfing friend tech, diving into altcoins, diving into meme coins, really diving into like pure technical analysis with another friend from down under. And I like to talk to our friends in Australia because they are from the future. It is Monday there, but it is Sunday here for us. But what have you been seeing in the markets lately? I haven't been able to super zero in and get onto every single tweet. I'm still teaching, so I only get to see it in spurs, but I am seeing a lot of positive notation happening in these markets.
Yeah, I definitely feel positive, and thanks for the question. I think it's definitely something that's on all of our minds. I do think, at least from what I've been seeing, as Craig mentioned, I think there's definitely catalysts to why this is happening. But I'm definitely not a technical analysis person. I'm envious of both of you. I remember, Nova, when I first met you, you were talking a little bit about it, or at least like getting in on meme coins or like early coins. Never something I got into, but at least for me, this cycle, whatever this is, if this is a cycle, if this is a quick thing, or if this is a long-term bull run, I wonder how many other people like me who don't have a lot of experience selling their NFTs are actually going to. So that's been on my mind a lot. I don't know if I'm taking it in another direction, but I just sold an NFT last night, which was great. It's like one of the ones that I had held on to since 2021 that wasn't really worth much, but it's nice, like the same way you were saying you sold an atom bomb. Like it's nice to, at least for me, to break even, to feel good about some like feelings that I had early on buying some stuff that maybe I lost some hope in 2022, but was lucky enough to not just sell the complete bottom. I'm kind of,
Hey,
I'm in an
you
in
bought
between
something that
phase.
you bought something that wasn't rugged. You got Ethereum back. Ethereum can fluctuate. It's not a loss at all. You know,
No, it's a learning experience, if anything. But I need those reps, and I think that's something that you both probably have a lot more experience in, is like just feeling comfortable when selling things, because selling things can be very I bet it can be an anxious thing as much as buying something is. But for me, what's nice about buying for me a lot of the time is that I'm thinking really long-term investments. So the things that I'm buying are like curio cards, and I'm pretty much staying in that territory. I don't like buying quick flips unless I really have a good idea. Like I remember there was and I'll stop speaking after this, Noah, but I remember there was a specific project called Expansion Punks. I'm not sure if you guys remember those, but I flipped a couple of those because I saw it super early and there wasn't a lot of conversation. And I saw just in Twitter movement, but it wasn't this is not technical at all. I know technical analysis means something else, but this was more about me seeing the sentiment of the space change and me being able to capitalize on that. But in terms of actually seeing volume, I haven't ever taken advantage of looking at figures and looking and using I guess Crypto Slam. I'm not sure, Craig, I really want to know what type of tools you're using, but anyways, that's the type of stuff I'm thinking about. Selling this, whatever this is, selling a couple things that I have, getting used to that feeling, and then kind of recycling through, buying a couple things that I like and moving on from there.
I want to get to Craig and your thoughts on the tools you use to maybe find out where that volume's coming. But first, I want to tap on two things, AP, and maybe this could be a segment to what we're going to be doing next week if you are available next weekend. One, I love your Bored Ape Yacht Club hoodie. That could be a flip in itself, for I think those are worth a couple $100 right now, to tell you the truth, even out of bag. Two, I went down the artifact rabbit hole with JR Token and Beskar, and we upgraded our vials. I have a Human Evolution 3. I did get some OG sneakers. I did get some Clone X sneakers and a pair of Void sneakers. So one of the each. And with all that, I also got 2 pairs of shoes sent to me from Artifacts since we last spoke. One are the self-lacing ones, and the other ones are the what are they? The Air
Forces, the Air Forces.
Air Forces. Thank you. So maybe next Sunday we have some revealing going on, some unboxing going on.
Let's do that. I'm in.
Because I've gone to that notion for myself just recently. And first, a couple shout outs. I hate to leave you hanging there, Craig, on that question, but I have a new banner there. I want to give a shout outs to Bigger. Bigger made the banner for me. Sorry, I'm too cheap to tip. That's just the way I am. He created for me, but I am giving him some free shout outs. And within my friend Tech, I also put his information in there on my Discord. I'll put it on a tweet here, up on the tweet as the top as well. But I want to greatly appreciate the cool banner that you did create for me, and I'll sport it proudly. So thank you. So there again, friends bringing friends in the space. I am personally seeing an uptick in people reaching out to me to collab, which is kind of a personal barometer of what's happening within this this ecosystem. And one thing, like you say, AP, is you staying within the hero cards is like staying in your avenue. I branch out of my avenue a little bit because I have seen a little bit of success within, which I haven't sold, but just the rarity of these artifact shoes in the Nike, and seeing that what they could turn into in secondary sales in eBay, and where I think the next couple of sneaker cons where these shoes will be released at sneaker cons, people are going to start seeing these and having huge gibbets that are attached to these Nike shoes. I think are going to be the next evolution in what people are trying to collect, very similar to Crocs. So those are one of the tools that I use to see where kind of volume's going. Is one, my Twitter DMs and see who wants to collab. Bigger making a banner for me. Thanks a lot. Thanks a ton. I appreciate it. And that banner we'll be able to get in a POAP here in about 13 minutes. So part of that banner will be in a POAP. So there again, his work will live throughout a POAP that will be given to everyone who claims that POAP. But I'm also seeing a uptick within people wanting to collab, which means there's interest in people, artists, different people from different avenues trying to, have fun within the space, including having an atom bomb sale. So, Craig, without a long-gated question, what kind of things do you use as a barometer, as a measurable, as something where you kind of see, all right, well, I'm kind of done here? Because, like, let's face it, like last week, we probably said 5 or 6 sentences about Friendtech. I don't know where the volume is in with that. Is it worth talking about? Is it worth having a conversation about? Or is it another venue? Is it, hey, hold on tight, it's alt season, grab on your favorite meme or altcoin because you're going to get 10, 12% return, which is pretty stinking good if you're thinking about returns. But then again, not financial advice for anyone listening.
Yeah, to answer Avery's question in regards to what tools I use, I almost wish I had a more sophisticated answer, but I suppose when I went into it full time, one of the things I did was I just closely monitored the markets at all times. Probably not the most efficient way to do it. I know there's a few guys out there using bot scrapers and Telegram bots and things like that to find where volume goes, and they're getting pings and notifications. Myself, I was more of a live pairs or first thing in the morning kind of, opening up the newspaper, if you will, but rather than the newspaper, you open up your laptop or, in my case, my Mac. And, firstly, probably the first thing I do before I even check the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, because to me at the moment, I take that back. Prior, that hadn't been such a sexy thing to look at, but it is now. But probably group chats has been my biggest tool and probably my successful tool, in the way that I sort of cultivated a bunch of group chats that I'd had been invited to. And I guess over the 3 years, I've kind of identified which ones have been, or I've got people in it that are, A, they're tapped in, B, they're not using me as exit liquidity, because obviously there's trust issues in this market, aren't there? It's PVP essentially when you're getting shilled something. And then, more case of going into the group chats, seeing what sort of things are getting shilled at that time. And I've got group chats that are quite varied. So I've got my NFT group chats, I've got my meme coin group chats, I've got my more Bitcoin maxi group chats. So it's more of a case of me bouncing between those. And you'll know where the volume's going actually almost purely from the amount of messages being sent in each group. And if something goes quiet, as you mentioned, Novo, we didn't mention Friendtech much last week. I mean, obviously that's a consequence of volume slowing down, and obviously TVL or market cap just going steady. So there's not a lot to sort of say really on it other than it's going steady, which is not a negative thing, but it just means that it's not red hot. I've
noticed that as well. Is just most of the times was able to stay 2 steps ahead, it was within those alpha chats. It's like, hey, this NBA Top Shot is looking for people to beta test it. Sure, that's cool. It's NBA Top Shot. Yeah, I'm all in on it. And it did come within CryptoPunk's Discord. And then you kind of listen to like the next thing that's kind of happening within the space. And even when PEPE coin, I remember Spotty Wi-Fi just put a video on how to pretty much trade within Uniswap through MetaMask, and he just put a quick, and I knew how to do it. I'm just like, well, he just converted, I don't know, it was like $100 into PEPE coin, and then like whatever, 10 seconds later it's $200. And then like, I didn't do it because of that, but like those are the small little things to get in. And I remember I got in shortly after that. It was like a couple of days after PEPE coin was like live, and I just kind of thought about it. I'm like, well, PEPE reaches pretty wide range of people. So like if I can get in on this early before I don't want to say the normies get in, but but after the institutional investor gets in, it's too late. If you can try to ride that wave in and out of it, and somewhat shameful at times, but then you find within those communities one or two people that are alpha, and you always hold on to a little bit, like a lasting lottery ticket. And it might have stink if it's like an NFT that you buy and sell and you're no longer a part of. An AP, you might have sold an NFT that you're no longer a part of that ecosystem now, but you did learn and you did saw through it and you did see what was up. Very similar to the atom bomb. Like, I probably could have sold it probably a little bit more for floor, but someone wanted it. Someone put a bid on it. So they're going to have a need and a value for it. And who knows? Maybe they will put it in the center court of their sports apparel store and it'll be a flagship thing. And hey, I bought it from Crypto Novo. And now we're talking about it. It makes it kind of cool. The voices that you're hearing is from CraigsCoinPurse and also Avery Piper, who are right now down and listening in spaces, but you can hear them up above and actually watch them. If you go up there and swipe to the right, retweet the room here. We'll have a POAP free in about 7 minutes, a free POAP in about 7 minutes. So yeah, what else you guys want to talk about here? I can pull up last week's last week's markets within.
Yeah, good one to check out. Solana at the moment. That's probably the.
We'll chat about that.
Yeah, Solana's friggin' going mental
compared to where it was, for sure. I don't think anybody was thinking about buying. I mean, maybe you were thinking about buying Solana at the time, but I think there was a lot of scary stuff going on with Solana that didn't make a lot of confident people in terms of buying power.
Yeah, she's up 40% for the week, which is so 58 US or just above. So I did have funny you should mention that. I did have a few people in group chats about 3 or 2x ago, maybe 3x ago, even maybe 4x ago, telling me to hurry up and pack my bags. This thing's going to go. Obviously, as you can tell by the tone of my voice, I didn't. And friggin' sent.
The worst 3% this year, 160% a month. I mean, you can't see the returns any better. They're really taking off. A lot of people are, excited about them, but like you're saying, AP is like the last time you heard about them, like it seemed like they had like a security problem. Wasn't the last tidbit of it was a security problem with them?
Getting switched off, almost like a reset on a router mode.
Yeah, it's been doing that a couple times. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah. I don't know. It's like right now I think we're strictly talking about the speculative power of it. But definitely people are buying it. So
I think a lot of the volume as well, just sorry to interrupt you, Novo, is people are starting to meme coin on Solana now. So it's driving a lot of volume to the chain. So a few NFT, a few Ethereum meme coiners or whatever you want to call them, traders are now sort of branching out, and Solana's getting a bit of a meme coin run or meta, if you will. So there's been a few big wins there. I would just stress to people, be careful when you go over there. What I mean by that is it's good to have connections. And some of these pumps, as you can imagine, and this doesn't just go for Solana, this is Ethereum, it's every chain. A lot of the bigger ones are coordinated. So, be careful, if you see one go 1000x, find some people you trust, I guess is what I'm trying to say, in those communities. Chat to them, get in the trenches and talk to the communities, and hopefully they help guide you, rather than going blindly and trying to ape something thinking it's going to do the same. Because not knocking Solana, I mean, at the end of the day, I chase volume. So to be honest, if it continues and keeps going, I don't mind going there. Money's money. The only downside, or I guess the thing that's held me back, is I don't have a lot of connections there. So as Avery mentioned before, he's kind of stayed in his lane with his investing. And with me, it's definitely on Ethereum. So for me, it's out of my comfort zone, meaning I'm more vulnerable to people that are more savvy there. So guys, I'd say if you're going to dabble in, and this goes for anything you want to dabble in, if you're not familiar with, get into the Discords, get into the Telegrams, chat to the communities, be helpful yourself. And if you're helpful yourself, you'll probably find other people will be pretty happy to help you out too. Don't just take, give as well. But that's probably the safest way to go about it. But certainly Solana is absolutely ripping. And anyone who front ran that is licking their lips. So congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, they'll be happy.
I was not, but
yeah, there's interesting parallels, right, to like coins and NFTs themselves. Obviously, they're kind of like the same thing in some respects. I think, I think there's it just makes me think about all of the, the second, you see my cat's arm in the door there trying to get into my room. She wants to hear about the Solana stuff happening.
You get a new camera or what?
Yeah, I did. It gives a little more space. There's curio cards that are actually signed by the artist there in the wall. It's blurry now, but I can unblur it. And
I can totally tell the new camera.
Awesome.
Looks sharp.
It looks better, right? I think there's one thing Craig was saying that made me think about this is that the whole, all of these NFT projects that are based off of previous NFT projects, all of these different types of ape projects, like that, I think only helped Bored Apes in their sales. It's like it's like free advertising, free IP advertising for Bored Apes. So just the idea behind, like there's inherent risk in the meme stuff, in the meme NFTs, in the meme coins, in things that are based on others. So
there is, but it creates commerce for that artist, and it might be a one-off. And they did it. I mean, people sometimes slam the derivatives of CryptoPunks, but those are artists trying to survive, trying to build themselves up to buy a CryptoPunk, and it adds to the ecosystem. So all the derivatives that built off of the Bored Ape was more of a foundational piece. People trying to do something to level up to get that Bored Ape. Solana, I think, has great foundation, and like people can build on it just like Ethereum. And there are maxis in it, but then sometimes people are leaving Ethereum to find that whatever that quote unquote new technology is, and they might find that spur or run within Solana. I wonder what's going to happen with the game coin ApeCoin, APE. What's up, Dr. Crypto? I hope all is well, my friend. And what I'm doing in my POAPs the last couple of weeks, AP, is what I'm doing is I'm writing the price of different coins, some of my favorite coins, meme coins, game coins, popular coins that are out there, like Shiba Inu. Like one thing I think is like once something hits like a 1, then it starts flying. So like, it's at, however, it's usually 5 zeros and then a number. It's at 9 now, but once it gets down to that 4-0 range, and then people like start looking at it again, like, oh, it's just a 1. I'm just buying a 1. So like those things might fly up. PEPE coin as well, back from the beginning. The owner is selling. It sold some of the coins. To show that, showing him that he's not selling it or burning them. He's burning the coins, not selling them, burning them to show that he's not selling them, which is all just interesting little tidbits in there. Any questions, please let us know. You could drop it in chat there, like from Moneymaker7. Crypto is healthy these days. Wow, yes, we have some health in the markets. We're seeing the overall market cap really healthy, which helps build a lot of ecosystems within Ethereum, within the NFT markets, within meme coins, and that just works back into art. Time for a POAP, though. So if you have a POAP, the secret word in the POAP for this evening is free. Capital F, capital R, capital E, free. So that if you click on the little mint button in the lower right, and the secret word is free, FREE, all capital letters, you can claim yourself a free POAP. That's right, Concept. I see you listening right there. You can claim that free POAP. Dr. Crypto, claim that POAP right now. Please do. Pac-Man, Pac_man with a 0. Please claim that POAP. And Content Nuker, thank you for listening. You can claim that POAP. It's going to be live and direct for about another 30 minutes, 28 minutes to be exact. So you can claim that POAP. can't figure that out, just shoot me a DM or get me on Friend Tech. I have some POAPs in there, and then also within Discord as well. All three of those places you can get yourself a POAP from tonight's show, which is going to show these coins and track them so you can look at them for a year from now. And it's like, man, look what this was at. Oh, man, look what that was at. And vice versa. We see a lot of volatility right now. When you see a lot of volatility, then you see a lot of trading within the spikes, the ebbs and flows of Ethereum. As you can see, it was shot all the way up to 270 about an hour ago. Now it's down to 250, and before it was dipping down to the 240 range. And when you see that volatility, that means the exchanges are making money because they make money off of volatility, trades up and down. It's just like a casino. They want to have equal number of trades in both sectors, and then they're going to make their gains off those microtransactions. So when you see more gains in the markets, sometimes the players in the markets, they have larger giveaways, and larger giveaways entices more people to come in to try to find these different altcoins, as I've seen it in the past. So it's lots of things that add to the ecosystem within all of this. You can claim that POAP. It's FREE. To claim that POAP, just go on your POAP there and claim that free POAP. Sip of water, reset there. Any questions, feel free to raise your hand. You can come on up and ask live action. Last week we had wonderful technical analysis from Greeny, which we're going to have back. I'd love to see the weekly or bi-weekly TA or technical analysis, as they say in the trading world. I'm also seeing a lot more Twitter DMs. Instagram likes are going up as well, so a lot more excitement, positivity in the ebb and flow within this Web3 ecosystem. AP, so what have you been up to? What's been new the last couple of weeks? I know that you are a spectator of the New York Marathon. Is that correct?
Yes, I was. Yeah, my girlfriend ran it and she was successful. She crossed the finish line, so that was a big deal. We celebrated for a week straight, and now I'm back. And now I'm back doing my normal stuff. I'm looking actually, Novo, through all of the. Maybe it'd be fun to look at the purchases that Wiley went through. We could do this at some point in the show, but it would be fun to see all that stuff. And if Novo, maybe any of us have comments on like the collections themselves and our opinions of the collections. I'm not sure if that's a rabbit hole we want to go down, but there are some interesting things that he purchased, maybe things that I didn't really have a lot of context on that we can chat about.
Yes.
I'll drop this for you.
Sure.
I'll drop it in here. It's easier to look through. With his purchases, I hope that the OpenSea link specifically goes directly to his sales, and it's not the stuff that people are throwing in his wallet now. That just makes up his entire. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you want to, Nova, if you want to start with the zombie punk. I guess you have the best context out of all of us about what it means to have a crypto punk and to have claimed one. But maybe, like, what's your opinion over time, especially of the rarer punks? Like, how do you feel those have developed, maybe caught the public eye, that type of thing?
What I feel with that is like kind of a crowning achievement because there's only so many of them, obviously, that you can get. And of course, it's right at the bottom of all of it. There it is. So like, one, the availability to even have those out there is rare, but two, to have one just kind of shows that I don't think he's buying it for an investment. I think he's buying it for a keepsake. And I think this is one of the last opportunities that you'd probably be able to get it for, for the amount that he received it for. So 600 ETH on something like that. I mean, if you got 1,000 ETH sitting around, that's something that you probably won't. You probably won't be able to find a buyer right away for it if you had to get rid of it, but I'm sure you'd be able to find a buyer real quickly for it. but it's also just puts a strong statement out there of what things to come. And you can see it just led to more and more kind of excitement within it. Sit back, relax, see what else is going to buy us. Follow up with a cryptode that looked like it's getting eaten by a shark, but it's actually a mysterious hoodie.
That's such a cool toad, man. I love those. Those are cool.
And Novo,
yeah, yes.
I'm thinking all the time. CryptoPunks are so interesting. Like CryptoPunks will always be the most fascinating thing. Especially, I think the move by him is interesting because I'm wondering what he got out of the deal when they originally acquired CryptoPunks. Because did they get, are Matt and John how many? I don't know. Maybe you know this answer. Maybe everybody knows this already. But like, are Matt and John holding on to all of the ones that they're holding on to, or were some transferred over to Yuga as like a unit? Now they can make a decision on what to do with them, if they're holding them, if they sell them for liquidity later, if the company needs it. Like, how is that working? And I wonder what his angle might be there. Which one if he does own any other ones or that type of thing. But anyways, they're the coolest.
I think he's out. I think they're out. I don't think they have any.
They just have the IP. They don't have.
I don't think they have any CryptoPunks. I think they have a couple that they had. And I think Yuga owns all the rest, and Yuga decides what they want to do with them. As far as the developer punks,
Right. That's fascinating. Anyways, that's cool, and it's cool for him to purchase a project so reminiscent of CryptoPunks right after. I think that's one that I've always been the most fascinated by. Actually, is Cryptodes, because I think Cryptodes certainly has a place in history. I don't know how significant that place will be, and I don't know what people are going to feel about the creator. What's his name? The Gremplin. Like, what if Gremplin's going to be some really important historical figure on the same tier as people like Xcopy and Drifter Shoots and Justin Aversano, like creators like that? Like, is he on that level? I think he's just about there, but I wonder what the rest of the world will feel long term.
Yeah, I just speaking to a lot of NFT collectors / punters, whatever you want to call them. He's always been held in fairly high regard, and Cryptodes actually just went on a run recently. I think a few people were obviously sweeping them up, but he's held in high regard, and certainly by the right sorts of people. So I feel over time, I think over time that actually might not financial advice, but Cryptodes may be a pretty important piece later on down the line. I think the artwork's quite cool. Certainly the one Gordon picked up there with the hoodie is, that's a cool one. I looked at buying them about 2 years ago. They were a bit high. They were about 3 ETH, I think, then to a year ago, maybe 3 ETH, something around there. So they definitely had a big dip with everything else. But now, I guess you could say people are scooping up what they consider the front runners maybe in the next run. And that's probably a good valued, like, I feel that's, if you're going to take a punt on something for the longer term, that may not be a bad buy. I think they're cool. I think the artist is well respected, and I think that's almost all you need. And from my understanding, there's no promises with it or roadmap, is there? It's just art. So that's almost, I think that's a good thing. You don't want, a team to muck it up, which tends to happen with NFTs. So I think it's kind of cool that it tends to run on its own steam now. A bit like MF is to a point. It's community run largely. So you don't have to worry about, roadmap or the game being crap and stuff like that. So, hey, it's good to see. Yeah, I'm a big Toads fan, as you can tell.
Would you put them?
I wish I owned one so I could flip them on everyone now that I just shilled it. Yeah, exactly. I did this the wrong way.
Did you do you also put Goblin Town in the same category as them? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Because he also purchased a Goblin, and one of the reasons why I mentioned it,
that's a good question.
Because it moved the same way, at least from my memory. The way that Goblin Town was literally astronomical, exponential in terms of price point, and capturing the zeitgeist of whatever a certain period of time. The same way that Cryptodes was Cryptodes are selling for 30 ETH at some point, right? Or 40 ETH, just the floor. the same way that I think whatever 15 ETH, 20 ETH for Goblin Town. So I'm feeling like they were comparable in their rise and also maybe in their departure from being the top.
Yeah, it's one of those collections, and I guess Gordon alluded to it in his tweet where he said, I finally own a Beeple, because obviously Beeple had been, there had been community banter with Beeple being the founder and et cetera, et cetera. So there is, I see what you're saying. You see, I think I'm biased because I just find that I just have never taken to the art. I
don't think anybody has for Goblin Town, but it's interesting. They're interesting.
But I get what you're saying. It's definitely a roadmap in time, which you're right. It was during the bear, wasn't it? It's when things were, it was sort of when things were starting to downtrend really hard.
Yep.
And I remember I had a friend of mine message me, and he got one at 0.2, and he messaged me and said, hey man, you should probably scoop one of these up. And obviously I didn't, because I thought they looked so ugly. And then sure enough, it friggin' sent. And that was probably one of my biggest misses in the space, was that, because it was right in front of my face. But just from a historical point of view, yeah, I tend to agree. It'll be interesting to see how people value those later, whether there's enough significance to hold or to keep the price going. Right. I have heard rumors that the team's going to be looking at, and don't let this pump the price, guys, this is pure rumors and I don't own any. There's rumors that the team's going to do something with the collection pretty soon that's pretty significant. I don't know whether it's true. I don't know exactly what it is. It sounded pretty cool. Definitely don't open based on that. But if the team's going to keep building there, then maybe they will. Maybe Goblins will end up biting me in the ass twice. Geez, wouldn't that be good?
And Craig,
interesting
the reason I mentioned is because and Novo, this is somebody we used to work with. This one person had I'm not sure. The reason I asked you originally about like what tools you use, Craig, is that this person had been looking at volume. I don't know through what vehicle, but it was some official thing where like you pay a price every month to like look at charts. Basically, I don't know what it is. I'm talking about.
I think
it's super. Yes, it could be something like that. So he was looking and he saw crazy volume on this one collection, but really early, and like it was a lot of volume, but the price was super low. Something happened like that, and he got 3 of them, and they ended up being the 3 of them would have gotten him a mutant ape, which at the time were around 30 ETH, 25 ETH, something like that. So we were pushing him to sell all of his Goblin Town, because we knew this wasn't going to be a forever thing with them. And then obviously it wasn't, but he didn't want to, because he wanted to wait until the price obviously would increase. And I think we've all fallen for that type of thing before. We never know. And I think
many times.
For me, I need, and this is what I mentioned in the beginning of this chat, but I really need to practice selling things, whatever this cycle is. I need practice in just, for a few things breaking even, for a few things maybe losing whatever 0.005 ETH or something.
AP, we always had the rules of 3, and like when you buy them in 3. And I bought 3 cryptodes at the same time, and it was was in September. Let's see, September 16th, and there was just under 2 ETH. I remember buying 3 of them. And I remember selling 2 of them like when they were getting like 8, 9, 10 ETH.
Wow.
And this one's vaulted. This is one that my son wants and loves. So
that's cool.
That's his. It's the vault. But we sold the other 2. And, like now I'm looking like, oh, should I maybe buy one? But like, but that's the thing, is you can see that each one of these that he bought, from a toad to a sappy seal to a D-God to a punchy penguin, he knew a dead fella. I mean, these are all top shelf ones, Yeah,
he got standout pieces.
Skeleton, you got to, look at
That's
this.
Grail for sure.
All
this stuff are Grails if the projects do fulfill.
I didn't even know that was a doodle,
I think that doodle's the one they use in a lot of their marketing. So I think he might be a pretty smart buy, because I think it's used a lot front and center. He hasn't just recklessly purchased, I don't feel either.
Well, then what about the other ones, like a Sentinel?
I don't know what this is. I never heard of this one. Maybe you guys know of it. I knew of Avastars. The other one was really interesting. This I think it's mintage, like vintage. But
Yeah,
mint.
I think
This
with,
one's really fascinating, especially when it comes to clothing, because I'm obsessed with that shit. But I think it's about having a pass to buy vintage clothing, and it's really
Correct.
simple, and it gives you a discount. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like literally, it works right now on their website. You have a discount. It's automatic, and it's one of the use cases that I think NFTs will really flourish in for the long term, and even in the short term, it'll be one of the first things to really take this space, I think, to the next level, is people using NFTs simply to get discounts and to get access to a website. And I think that's happening now.
You can get access to a free POAP right now. Just type in FREE, all capitals. You got about 13 minutes to claim that POAP right now. You can claim that POAP. That's free, and I'm looking at that. I mean, maybe that's all part of the. Maybe that's all part of the ploy. Is like, hey, go buy all these expensive NFTs. We'll give you a free. What is it? Mint pass? What is it? Mintage pass? And look, they have an old Wu-Tang shirt. Some old denim. We'll see what else they have to offer in the future, but it got us clicking and talking about it. So, yeah, it is.
I think it's cool. It like Avery said, I kind of like that vintage sort of stuff as well. I'm a big denim fan. So I heard, when it first came out, there's quite a lot of hype around it, and yeah, the founders seemed, they seemed pretty cool, and they were looking to do something a bit different in the space and get vintage clothing involved, which I was like, wow, that's two worlds apart, isn't it? Sort of high-end op shop, which I think super cool. And I think it actually, although they're worlds apart, they go together really well. An old tech with a new tech, not that I guess secondhand clothing's tech, if you will, but I guess it has utility. It keeps your clothes right. But it's, I think it's cool. It's interesting that he bought that. That was one of the ones for me that I definitely was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
I just made the connection. I know why he did it. It just came in my head is because the gentleman I recognize now, the guy who is the founder of this Mintage Pass, is an advisor to Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg has been a crazy advocate for Bored Ape Yacht Club, and who owns one. And I think that's one of the full circle things. I think he did that probably not with posterity, a rude word. He did it as both a narrative building thing, also to support his friend, also to support the ecosystem, which is coming back to Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I just recognize that. Yeah.
Hey, Ian, I see you listening down there. Check out Alex. Alex is in governmental affairs. Ian, I hope you're listening. Check out Alex down there. DM him for governmental affairs for the vertical grow idea that we are that you're taking off and going with. Sorry, side tangent. I saw people, common people down listening in the NovoVerse there. Alex, if not, you can DM me. I can share that idea with you if Ian does not respond to you. But yeah, you did the detective work there, my young Watson, as Sherlock Holmes would say, and you did piece it together where it is all going in a circle like that. Not only is he on a shopping spree, but now he's on a physical shopping spree too, with a digital pass that's going to give him a discount, which is just cool. Man, look at that! Look how he just bought.
It's cool. I think it would have been fun to see more experimental, like lesser known projects. I think one of the things, Novo, it's like I agree that to some degree this is not investment like for him, but I do think there is an aspect to, especially if he's buying, like if you see the rarities on all of these, he's buying the super rare, the top of the top, 1%, 0.001% of each of these projects. So I think this also him, if these projects do well, he will be reaping the rewards of the highest degree for each of these. So it's both, him supporting the project, getting the stuff that's most expensive. It's also him with this huge gamble.
Speaking of supporting projects here, well, first claim that POAP because it's free, but Divine Providence. Let's talk a little bit about that because Craig, you have that. What is your Discord, from what I know, launching this week, next week? When is it? When is that coming up? And
Yeah.
what's it about?
Divine Providence is a callers Discord channel that I didn't found, but I ended up taking it over, well, partly anyway. It was running for a while. One of the founders exited and I came along. I was calling there for the last year, probably before a lot of people knew who I was there calling. So I ended up becoming a partner, and been working on it for about the last year, just trying to get the right callers at the right time to launch to the public. It's been invite only, so we've got callers there that cover, like myself, like meme coins, altcoins. We've got futures there, NFTs. Man, you know, if anything can be called, it's getting called there. So really, just been trying to build a space whereby I had people I knew and trusted to call, like myself, because I always wanted to, you know, I didn't always want to be a caller, but it just kind of fell in my lap. And then I thought, well, if I want to create I suppose for lack of a better word, a business, I don't want to be the one calling all the time. It's too hard. I'll miss things. So I thought, how can I do it? And I sort of scoured the internet and found people that were better than me calling different things, and got them all in a room, in a group. And I've managed to kind of secure some pretty top tier callers now. So sort of felt like it was the right time to go public. One of the other things I wanted to do a little bit differently, that's not entirely different, is rather than sell an NFT for access, it'll be a subscription model. So just pay monthly. And sort of, you know, the thought process behind that is, you know, I'm a big believer that if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. So, you know, there's different call channels out there, and I'm not going to bag any out, but how a lot of them tend to operate and get paid is, you know, they make a call, but they've got tokens given to them by a team. So obviously they make a call, you know, it rallies up. You know, they're selling into their community. So I thought, how can I get around that? And we thought, let's go subscription model. That way, I mean, my dream was not to pay myself, but to get a team in there of callers that I could pay, you know, so the people that are scouring the internet, finding all this information, I could actually, well, pay them for their time. And in that way, over time as well, should be able to get better and better callers, calling better and better things, where people aren't getting tokens dumped on them by the same people calling to them. So, you know, it's had its moments. The bear market, you know, we sort of went to launch, and then bear hit pretty hard, and we're like, holy crap. And then almost nothing could be called for a while. So we sort of had to hold tight, and I sort of just grinded through that bear market, just calling even when there was almost nothing to call. And yeah, lo and behold, we sort of got to a space now where we've got, you know, I've got confidence in the callers that are there, that if I need to take a holiday, I can have one, and, you know, have the community I've sort of managed to get in a room, be looked after, and still hopefully make money, or at least get good advice. Let's call it that. So we've got trading bots in there similar to Maestro, but they're able to be used in Discord for those people that aren't comfortable in Telegram. Maestro's in Telegram. This can be in Discord. So we are building out some pretty cool stuff for the community in there as well. So one of the things the subscription model allows us to do is scale up. So it's a pretty cool moment. It's a scary moment because, you know, we've got a community of, you know, say 500 people in there that they've had access to me for free for a year and a half. Now I've got to ask them for money. So it's a scary. What's that? Sorry, Nova?
It's time to rip that Band-Aid off, you know?
Yeah, brother. And, you know, that's what I said to the other founders. I said, look, there's only one way to find out where we're valued, and that's to see what the market says. So I'm confident in what we've got and who we've got in the team. We've got a great community. People are, you know, the guys and girls that we managed to get in there have, you know, it's a cool little community, and I'm very proud of it. So to be perfectly honest, if it was to fall on its face, it would be a road bump, and I'll figure it out. But it's a moment that I've waited for a long time. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. And as you know, Novo, speaking to you in the past, you know, when I left my job to get into Web3, I just quit my job and had nothing to go to. So I'm a big fan of being scared. So it's a hard thing to get used to, and it's a hard thing to like. But unfortunately, I've been forced to like it because that's where the growth is. So, you know, here we are, the moment of truth. I think it goes live for you guys in America. Oh, you got it up there. Thank you. Thursday, 4 p.m. or Friday morning for me. But we'll have announcements leading up to then on all the finer details of payments and things like that. We have announced that in our Discord just because we wanted those guys to get the first message, and then we'll start to take it to the public on Twitter soon. But enough of a show on there. There is a free grace period or free time period with it. So, we do give people the opportunity to come and check it out. And I also like the subscription model versus an NFT because, hey, if you're not getting value, stop paying. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted the power to be in the consumer's hands because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to tell me what's working and what's not. So I've just got to listen. So yeah, look, exciting. It's been people are probably thinking, holy shit, dude, you've been talking about this for so long. Thank God you can finally launch it. But it's nice to see it.
That's awesome that you're going through, and it's like same with AP.
Yeah.
He's doing with with 2 and 4, and I'm slowly getting there too. Where not saying I'm putting my foot down, but not offering my services and ideas for free because I just don't have time for it anymore. So I'm structuring that, not to be mean to people, but like I have enough friends right now that I can help for free. But now I gotta kind of get paid for my time, selfishly speaking. And you're right there this Thursday for us, Friday for you, since you're in the future. So I mean, next Sunday, I want you to hear about it and definitely shill it on the show and bring some of the people in, some of the callers in on the show. One thing we can do is we can go into Discord. You can screen share in your Discord, and we can do kind of like a potluck style of spaces. So we can do this, and you just share a Discord channel here with everyone talking on it. And bada boom, bada bing, off we're running. We can include spaces to also help get people into your. It's in a Discord, right? You're having the calls within a Discord. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a Discord. Actually, Greeny's one of the callers in there as well. So, anyone who saw him, he's top tier, man. He's, as you saw last week, good bloke, does quality work too. So I'm very thankful. And actually, funny enough, he's a local. He lives half an hour. I mean, out of all the space he could have lived, in the world, he lives just up the road from me, which we only figured out later, as well as one of the founders, which I didn't know. So
it's one of those galactical things. One of those galactical things that just that line up. That's just crazy.
Kind of meant to be, I think. Yeah, I think kind of the universe said, "Yeah, this will be all right." So,
it brings back. It brings back to the episode 191 here, where it is crypto, NFTs, and Web3 networking, and you're setting up an old networking circle, and you're using your knowledge and knowledge of friends here to have a subscription-based alpha call-up hotline, pretty much hotline service based in a Discord. And people can go in there, and from a wide range of things, you can go to Divine Providence on Twitter, or on formerly known as Twitter. And all this is at CraigsCoinPurse. It's Craig with an S, CoinPurse. And here just every Sunday, just like Avery Piper here giving us the alpha. I enjoy it. I love it. I want to keep tonight's show to just around an hour, just because I know AP's out on the East Coast there, and you're already on Monday, so you got to get the work week going. And the work week includes, as you're saying, like taking that jump, following that volume, seeing what's next. Because I mean, you have to find those gaps and those percentages to pay the bills. And sometimes it is flipping through NFTs that we just saw a whole bunch of. I'm seeing a lot of uptick in the market myself from a self barometer, seeing more likes on Instagram and on Twitter as well. Tons of POAPs. POAPs already claimed. Sorry, claiming window has been closed for about a minute, but we will definitely be back next Sunday. Avery Piper, any thoughts, suggestions, concerns, or ideas here, my friend?
No, it's a really good highlight, Novo. I'm super glad I got to chill with both of you guys today, and I'm glad I'm back on the grind of the Sunday show. I think I should continue to do that, and I will continue. And yeah, just working on my project. I'll keep showing videos of me working on t-shirts, but that's my MO at the moment. And that's it. And hopefully that'll be done around end of year time, and then the whole NFT thing and a bunch more steps. But The physical shirts are the hardest part. At least I'm telling myself that. So this is what's happening. This is what I'm focused on, and I'll be on every show, hopefully moving forward, and I'll show you guys some progress on the shirts.
Awesome, man. Yeah, good luck.
2 and 4 up
you.
top. You can see it. Not sponsored by Sharpie yet, but you can take a look. And it is up on the pinned tweet at the top as well, so you can take a gander at that. And Craig, for the good and the order for you, what should we be looking forward to here on Thursday on the East Coast of the U.S. and then also on Friday morning for you? Is you got a big launch coming here, my friend?
Yeah, I got a probably a fairly busy week ahead of me. I hope it's not, because that's if things are going wrong, which as you know, if we're building these things out, things will go wrong. So it's going to be a busy week, but it's going to be exciting. And then obviously panning for gold at the same time through the market, just seeing where I can get a win for obviously the community and myself. So with the market being this hot, there'll be tons more for those people who feel late to anything. Don't feel late. Just give it a miss, and you can always catch the next one's probably my advice on if you feel like you missed out. But we'll catch up next week. And look, the market, as we said, continued to trending up. Bitcoin's up since we spoke last week. Ethereum's still up, hasn't dumped. So it's all looking pretty good, and it looks like bears are getting wrecked. So awesome.
Let's do it to it. Do us a favor. They're providing free content up here. Provide with a free retweet. All it takes is a button to retweet and a like. Up on the top, I did Divine Providence right there. The gate calls your name. Feel free to give that a like or a retweet. And then right next to that is also 2 and 4 with Avery Piper, hand drawing each individual physical piece of clothing with a Sharpie. Just like those, retweet those. You see them up there. I'll give it a couple seconds here at the end, so you can do that. Retweet the room as well. We'll be back on next Sunday. And that'd be awesome. That's great. Other than that, just want to thank all my aliens, apes, and zombies for tuning in. Big helped with the new banner that I'm sporting. So if you want to support him, Bigger1 at _ at Bigger1, he could provide you with a banner. He's trying to make his way in this Web3 world just like all of us. And with that being said, stay positive and love life. Peace.
Thank you.
Gotta get music. I can get music going.
Peace. A theme song.
Good seeing you, AP.
Man. Likewise, man. I'll catch you soon.